welcome to Attic Raiders Retro Reviews, where today we're munching our way through yet another vintage board game. Join us and we get a wriggle on and take a look at Curly Caterpillars. Curly Caterpillars was released by Spears Games in 1986 and is a 2 to 4 player game for ages 4 and up. It bills itself as a colourful, fun-filled game for the young, and as you can see from the front cover of this box, it is indeed very colourful. The box art features some really bright rainbow coloured caterpillars, this really nice curly bright yellow font, and a nice bright colour photograph of some children playing the game who are just the epitome of 80s fashion with their haircuts and their clothing. The back of the box is just in black and white, and other than telling us that it's a suspenseful game, it lets us know that the object of this game is to build the longest caterpillar. Now this game does bill itself as being a game for the young and is for only ages 4 and up, so it's not one that I would normally be going for or taking a look at, but this is one that I remember from my own childhood. It came out when I would have been 3 years old, and I remember this being around my house and playing it. I remember this box and the bag and the contents of this game still being around my bedroom when I was an early teen. Though the chances of me actually having played it at that age are exceptionally slim. But still, this game, when I saw it in a charity shop, brought back lots of nostalgia. That said, how does it actually stack up as a game? Is it a good one that I could still play today, or do I definitely have some rose-tinted glasses on? Well, let's take a closer look and find out. The game comes with 4 different colours of caterpillar heads, and these are made from quite a nice thick sturdy cardboard here, but they are prone to ripping or bending and breaking at these antenna attachment points here. There are 15 green body segments, 15 yellow body segments, 15 blue body segments, and 15 red body segments, and unlike the heads, these ones are double-sided with their colours. And we've got a red cloth bag which you're going to be able to use to hold all of your pieces inside. So to play the game, each player takes a different colour of caterpillar head and puts it on the table in front of them. All of the body pieces then go inside the red bag and close it up. Mix them about, make sure they're nice and jumbled, and that's it, ready to start. The first player gets the bag, puts their hand inside, and without looking, draws out 2 different pieces of body segment. In this case, we've got 2 blue, and they just add that anywhere onto their caterpillar. The next player does exactly the same. They put their hand in, no looking, takes 2 segments, and add that onto their caterpillar. Now, as you can see, because this player has chosen 2 body segments which match 2 body segments next to each other on the other player's caterpillar, they get to steal those and add them to their own caterpillar, making theirs now 4 times long and theirs only a head. So the yellow player is then going to have to choose 2 pieces, and they're going to add them onto their own caterpillar. The purple player is going to choose 2 pieces. They're going to add that onto their caterpillar. And the yellow player is going to choose 2 pieces and add those onto their caterpillar. And again, because they've chosen a blue and a yellow, anywhere on their opponent's caterpillar or any of their opponents, if there's a blue next to a yellow on their caterpillar, then those can be stolen by that player and added onto their own caterpillar, thus making their caterpillar longer and the other player's caterpillar much shorter. If you pull out body segments for your caterpillar which match body segments
on the other player's caterpillar in more than one place, then you can take all of the ones that match. So with this yellow player, if they've got a blue and a red, then they can take this blue and red from the other player. They can take this blue and red from the other player. They can take this blue and red from the other player. And they can take this blue and red from the other player. So from being fairly evenly matched, suddenly this caterpillar is much, much longer than this one. But it only takes a purple player to pull out a blue and a red in order to suddenly have all of this go back to the other player. So things really can change dramatically throughout the whole game, and you don't know who's going to win until right at the very end. And the game ends once the very last two body segments have been pulled out of the bag and there's none left. And at that point, the player who's got the longest caterpillar is going to be the winner.
Being a game potentially aimed at 4-year-olds, Curly Caterpillars is obviously very simple. It's more of a gateway game where you're introducing children to the concept of playing board games and introducing some of the basic skills like turn taking, patience, social interaction and pattern recognition. It's a way of getting children to sit down with adults and interact with them on a social level, getting some talking going, and of course, being quite a simple game, it's very easy for children to beat adults in it. And so there's a lot of love for it in that sense because children love to beat adults. The components are nice and bright and colourful. Nothing's really going to get broken, apart from maybe the antennas on the caterpillars, but they're not really needed for the game to work. And everything's pretty robust. So there is a definite appeal here for young children. That said, this is not a game. There is absolutely no choice in this whatsoever. There are no tactics, there is no decision making of any kind, and everything is predetermined on rails as far as the actual gameplay goes, other than making a random choice, which you don't even really have a choice because there's nothing for you to decide upon because you can't see anything. It is entirely random what you're taking from the bag, so you might as well just be given those pieces. At least with simple dice rolling games, yes, there is randomness in that, but you might be able to choose which path you go down on a board. There's at least some semblance of making decisions. There is absolutely nothing that you have control over. Once you've taken the pieces out of the bag, which you don't get to see until they're removed, then you have to put them down in one place on your caterpillar, and you have to take those pieces from another player, and you have to put them onto your caterpillar, and the other player has to reduce the size of their caterpillar, and then it goes on to the other player and they do exactly the same. It is extremely mechanized, and for that reason it's really rather boring. In fact, it's not just boring, this is a pastime. It is something that you would do in order to pass the time. It's a way of keeping your hands engaged, but not really your brain. I honestly have no idea why I have so many fond memories of this game and why I would have enjoyed playing it. I'm not even sure that I did enjoy playing it. I think I've just got memories of it being around. As a game, playing this as an adult, unlike some other children's games that you can play as an adult which are fun, this is definitely not one that you're going to want to play. At least not unless you are playing it with the very young. Well, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen here today. If you have, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and we'll see you with more vintage board games next time on Attic Raiders Retro Reviews.